The Indian Administrative Fellowship Program, launched in July 2021, is a pioneering public-private partnership to address critical development challenges facing the state. A workshop was organized on 11th July 2023 in Vikasa Soudha for the second cohort that will start on 12th July 2023. Dr. Shalini Rajneesh, Additional Chief Secretary to Government Planning, Program Monitoring and Statistic Department, welcomed the gathering and briefly explained the concept and working of the Indian Administrative Fellowship.
15 days they will have the secretary ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅವರು ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಸರ್ ಅವರು ಫೈನಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಏನು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 18 months ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಮೈ ಫೋಕಸ್ಡ್ ಟಾಸ್ಕ್ ಮೈ ಔಟ್ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಮೈ ಮೈಲ್ ಸ್ಟೋನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ಒಂದು ಟೆಂಪ್ಲೇಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಮೈ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಟು ದ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರೀಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ quality time to give a clear indication on what is to be done and see that they start working from day one on the proposed project. ಅದಾದಮೇಲೆ ಸರ್ ಅವರು ಒಂದು ವಾರಕ್ಕೆ ATIಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಾಗಿದೆ. ಅಗೇನ್ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆನ್ 7th of August ಆನ್ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಹಿಯರ್. ಟ್ರೈ 3 ತಿಂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ನಾವೊಂದು ಇವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಷನನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೈಲ್ ಸ್ಟೋನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಆರ್ ವಿ following them or not, because these are the lessons from the previous cohort. So how do we enhance the GDP in manufacturing is our main concern. How do we enhance our resources at the same time? How do we use our resources efficiently and effectively? From the Department of Planning side, so we have taken a data analytics person. So for all department programs, we try to prioritize what are the programs, how to do predictive analysis and how to make the budgeting and planning more outcome oriented. Under women and child, sir, 2 major issues. One, they wanted the data integration because they are very, very low in terms of ICT applications. And second, they wanted the malnutrition issue. So we have 2 experts and this is an exception. We have given more because priority is WCD and malnutrition. Then school education, we want the dropouts ratio to come down and learning outcomes to improve. Under the skill department, we want the skilling and the entrepreneurship and the placement and ultimately the livelihood improvements. So again, how more and more technology can be used to make our people more higher standards of living.
She requested the various secretaries to government to facilitate the fellows in their respective departments. Mr. Vivek Sharma, Senior Director, the Nudge Institute, said that the 10 fellows are very senior executives from the private sector. While giving an overview of the Nudge Institute, he informed that a similar program was launched in Punjab and there are plans to replicate the model in other states as well.
The professionals from private sector, they bring the best practices from corporate sector. They bring the technology-led innovations and all the modern ideas, etc. So when they come together, so they can bring the systemic changes to the public systems and reform the governance also, so that the impact of these government projects can be manifold and the millions of people can get benefit out of that. We have also launched after Karnataka the same fellowship in Punjab, which is already into 6 months. And there are requests from other states also. We are going to launch in other states also in the next 2 months. And apart from this, we are very actively working with 2 of the center universities and we are likely to sign their MOUs for similar fellowship within a month or so.
The Nudge Fellows introduced themselves and expressed their burning desire for working with the government and outlined each of their plans for the next 18 months.
I hope we can work together and it is a fantastic opportunity for all of us being here. And
Ma'am, one point you mentioned about deadlines. We are all used to it. If you don't deliver, our careers at stake. So we are used to that and I'm sure that as a team, as a cohort, we will deliver.
We are looking at real people and real welfare, where we are also looking at trying to develop our living.
I have always been passionate to give back to the society. I hope I will be able to bring some of that expertise to transform the Office of Finance, even with GOK.
Last 5 years only, I have been working with not-for-profits, mostly in education space, where either as a volunteer or sometimes mentoring startups who are trying to influence learning outcomes.
I want to work on improving employability by starting with children at a teenage and going up to their graduation or post their graduation. How we can make that whole student life cycle become more fruitful.
All of these technologies, when built by the where the Western world is built for the Western world. Right? When we look at what we need for an India context, the same technologies, the way we deploy it, the way we consume it, the way we integrate it, to see how we can actually make these technologies relevant for India, for Karnataka, for rural.
The department what I got, women child development, one of the focus area for me would be an India Karnataka. In addition, I see that there would be a lot of interface with other department also to nurture women entrepreneurship, skill development and all of that. I'm very happy and excited to be part of it. And also bring in inputs on how this ecosystem can be developed further, so that MSMEs and industry in general in Karnataka can contribute its fullest to the $1 trillion vision that the state has for itself. So look forward to working with the Industry and Commerce Department.
The concept of sustainability and circular economy is huge and it's picking up dramatically, not just in India but across the globe. I do understand carbon credits extremely well. I understand plastic credits, which is nascent but coming up. There's actually more money in the plastic credit space than in the carbon credit space at the moment as well. There's that kind of knowledge.
You would realize that one or the other department has a overlap also. Some of their skills can be overlapped. So the request I have made, sir, in the inaugural thing is that please work together like we work under SDGs. It's not that you are now with WCD, so you'll only work with WCD. The team, the Nudge Institute team as a whole, suppose there's a skill support required or a financial support required or an education support required, we are going to work in convergence with each other.
Dr. E.V. Ramana Reddy, Additional Chief Secretary to Government and Development Commissioner, chaired the workshop. He said the role of government had seen a sea change over time and also stated that governments have always risen to the occasion to face crisis.
A lot of importance is now given for the ease of doing business. We compete and Government of India ranks us based on the ease of doing business. So the role of government has changed. And we have also become more, and I am proud to say that governments have become more and more responsive, more and more accountable and more transparent because of the high digitization and also because of the Right to Information Act, and because unlike the private sector we are also watched by the legislature is in session now. We have to be more transparent and more responsive and more accountable, and I feel that the way governments functioned 3 decades back and the way they function now, there is a sea change. And in fact, whenever there is a crisis, governments are the best.
Srimati Uma Mahadevan, Additional Chief Secretary to Government, Rural Development and Panchayati Raj, said the government is not here for profit. She advised the fellows to be patient with senior officials who would be busy most of the time.
The government is not here to make a profit. The government is here to improve life for everyone. And the everyone is very important because we continue, as Mr. Reddy said, we continue to have a focus on welfare. The very fact that we have all these guarantees this time is to ensure, our first job is to take an Antyodaya approach and to ensure that those who are marginalized and those who are poor and continue to be poor, we are a very unequal country, remember, they receive the major focus.
Secretary Finance Department Srimati Ekrup Kaur also had a few words of advice.
I'm sure if you are, and I'm sure you will all contribute meaningfully, secretaries will want to encourage you, but you will have to push your way through. So you'll have to be a little bit, take that initiative yourself and not expect that someone would each time call you and invite you and have a discussion.
The Secretary for Planning, Program Monitoring and Statistics Department, Dr. Richard Vincent D'Souza, thanked all the participants.
I am extremely thankful for our involvement and giving this opportunity. All of us secretaries as well as you IAF persons. Having said that, I thank Dr. Raman Reddy sir for chairing this session and giving this valuable time for us today, inspiring all of us.